Okay. So this is strength class. We're going to do more of that wooden dowel work, which is alignment based stuff. And the dowel really, someone else called it like the truth teller. Maybe that was actually, wasn't that you, Carol? Anyway, somebody told me that somebody calls their wooden dowel the truth teller, which is a little weird, but it certainly does help. So mine is not particularly long. Just, like this is a really obvious thing. Just be careful with your wooden dowel. You probably have things on the ceilings and the walls. And if yours is super long, just a warning from one human to another. I'm just gonna start standing with mine, feet at a comfortable place apart, and then the arms will come up and then back down again. So this is just kind of a nice little shoulder warm up. I right now have my palms forward, and you can either do thumb on one side, fingers on the other, or all the fingers on the same side. Just sort of move around the parts until you find the placement that you like. We did a bunch of good shoulder mobility stuff yesterday. This is another really good one. A little bit wider may be good for some of you. And I'm just going back as far as it feels intuitively like I should. And I'm going to do about 4 more here. Let's try not to hold our breath. Nice deep breaths. 3 and 2 and one more time. And then arms come down. Just keep the arms relaxed here. Let's move the head around a little bit, ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. Stand nice and tall as you bring your ear towards your shoulder. Draw the chin in a little bit. Okay, so this is a stretch for sure, all the way down the side of the neck for me. And then we'll come towards the center. Again, look straight ahead. Look to the right over your right shoulder. Keep your shoulders still. And then come back to the center. If you want to use your dowel a little bit here, you can just gently press it into your own thighs and then twist now to the left. Pressing into the dowel just adds a little extra intention for what the arms are doing and the shoulders. Let's do one more each way. Breathe. Use your eyes here. See what you see over your left shoulder now. And then we'll come back to the center, and now chin up. Really reach the chin up. And then pull the chin in and look down. Chin up. Chin in and down. 1 more each way. Yes. And then we come back to the center, okay? So we did up and down with the shoulders. Now I'm going to spread the feet apart just a little bit. Soften the knees a little bit. So we're going to do a little twisting. For this first part, the hips will come along for the ride. Okay? If you're someone that gets a little bit dizzy, don't follow the bar with your eyes. That almost makes me a little nauseous. Just maybe look at one place as you come to the side, one in the middle, and then all the way over. Wider arms could feel nice. And then 1 more here. And then come back to the center. And now I'm going to flip my palms up. Same exercise, except this time, hips are still. Hips are nice and still, relatively still. And twist. 1 more each way. And now we're going to bring the bar behind the tush, and I'm going to keep my palms looking forward, just like I just was. Abdominals are in, shoulders, let them glide up and down. Up and down. 1 more. And now we're going to keep them pulled down and bring the arms away from the tush, and then right back in again. One of the things that I think feels nice here is feeling like you're gently trying to pull the dowel apart, gently. I think it adds to the stretch. Let's do 3 more. Shoulder blades down. Try as hard as you can to not let the shoulders round forward while you do this. And then 1 more here. And let's actually turn the palms around. And we're going to go about halfway out. Bend your elbows and come up with the elbows and then re-extend. When you bend your elbows, imagine there's like some sort of magnetic force pulling the elbows in towards one another. And then go right back down. Okay, so shoulder blades down. Come away from your tush. Bend your elbows. Elbows pull in towards one another. And then re-extend. 1 more here. Come away from the tush. Bend your elbows. Woo, and then come all the way down. Let's just roll the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, so now I'm just going to hold on to the dowel and we're going to do a roll down. I'm going to bring my feet about a little bit wider than the hips. Arms can come straight out. We'll roll through the spine starting with the head. Chin to the throat. Slowly. Knees are soft. Come towards the ground. Relax your head and then soften your knees and come back up with just as much articulation. Rolling up. Head is the last thing up. And we'll do this 2 more times. Let's try and find a breath here. Inhale. And then roll through. Big stretch here. Relax your head. And then soften the knees and roll it back up. One more here. And then bend the knees, push through the feet, roll it up. All the way, okay? So now we're gonna bring the dowel behind us. I'm gonna bring the dowel right behind my head and I'm gonna hold on first. We're gonna play around with what our hands are doing throughout this first little bit. Right now I have my right hand behind the top natural curve and my left hand down in the second natural curve, behind the neck and the low back. See if you can get your 3 points of connection, your head, your shoulders, and your sacrum into your dowel. And if you can't, well, that's okay. That's just the way it is. Don't force it, but that's something that we should definitely work towards, okay? So we're gonna start first practicing some nice easy squats. My feet are hip distant. I'm gonna soften my knees. And then when I sit back into my squat, I'm gonna keep my 3 points of connection and come on back up. I'm gonna continue to have my hands in the 2 natural curves of my spine. And along the way, I'm gonna try to slowly increase my squat mobility and see if I can keep those 3 points of connection. So there may be a sort of breaking point where you're like, oh, that's as far as I can go before I lose my low back or my middle back or even my head. I'm going to do 3 more with my hands like this. 3. Good to notice what about this feels different. Obvious first thing is that you're holding a dowel. That feels different, right? What's hard? What's the thing that's hardest? Let's switch the hands and see how that feels. I'm bringing my right hand down and my left hand up. I think this is actually really nice to practice for shoulder mobility too. So let's see how this goes. This is a lot more awkward for me. I think I always start with my right arm up and my left arm down. It feels more natural. Exhale to come up. Let's do 3 more here. 3 and 2. One more time. And come all the way up to stand. And then just bring it around front and give yourself a quick little shoulder roll here and an inhale, exhale. Okay, so good to notice how all that felt. We're going to be coming back to that position with the dowel, but let's take a break and move into lunge awareness. So I'm going to start with the dowel right into my right hand, right next to me. P.S. If you have use of a mirror or if you can see yourself in your computer, this is a really excellent tool to just notice where your parts are a little bit more than you may normally do. So I'm going to keep my right hand on the dowel right outside of my right leg. And I'm going to step my right leg back just a bit. And I'm just for a moment, just to wake up this back heel, even though we just kind of did, I'm going to stretch it down and lift it up a few times. For 5, try to get the back foot looking straight ahead. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now I'm going to energize the back foot, bend the front knee and the back knee, and I'm going to try to keep my parts in line with the dowel as best I can. Of course, it doesn't have to be that way. You know, our bodies are meant to move in lots of different ways, but just for fun, for the exercise, for purpose of paying attention to where our parts are, my left shin and my right thigh, my spine, I'm trying to keep in line with the dowel. Let's do 4 more here. Make any changes you feel like you need to make. And 3. And 2. One more time. And then step in, and then come over to the other side. So same thing. Dowel is outside of the left leg. I'm going to step my left leg back, stand nice and tall. Warm up that back foot a little bit, lower lift. I'm trying to get the back foot looking straight ahead. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now I'm going to lift, energize the back foot, bend both knees, and come towards the ground. Okay, I'm going to change this up a little, step back a bit. Woo! Yeah, it's hard to keep the parts in line with the dowel, right? It feels a lot harder on this side, which I was not expecting. I'm going to bring my right arm out to the side. Also, keep going. Give yourself some extra help if you need it. If it's difficult to stay in line and you need a little bit more support, maybe grab something else to put on your other side. That's okay. Just make sure the help you give yourself is, maybe you'll just have to reduce your range of motion instead. Okay? For me, just bringing my arms out is helpful enough. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more time. And then I'm going to step it in, okay? Okay, so we're going to come back to the dowel behind the head in the back. I'm going to go straight to the awkward hand situation. So my left arm is on top and my right arm is there. We'll start this way. So now we're going to practice hinging from the hips. I'm going to keep my knees soft and I'm going to hinge forward, keeping those 3 points of connection and then coming right back up. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. 1 more. Switch the hands. switch the way you're holding it. Let's see if this makes any sort of a difference. 3 points connected. Soften the knees and hinge. And hinge. 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. All the way up, okay? So we practice squatting, hinging, and lunging. I'm going to use the dowel just for a little bit of help for the next bit. We're going to do a little bit of a curtsy lunge. And I think it's almost like a prop, like if we were in a play, if we had a cane and a top hat. It takes a little bit of pressure out of the knee here, which is the real reason why I'm using it. So as a curtsy lunge, as you step behind you, you're really using both legs. I often teach this exercise in the TRX class. And in the TRX class, we can hover the back leg. Okay, so there's quite a bit going on for the knees, right? Go at your own range of motion here. We're gonna do 4 more sets. 4. And 4. And 3. 3. And 2. 2. And 1. And 1. Back to the center. Dowel just in the center. Stand up nice and tall. Heel lifts here. 10. 9. Straight up and straight down. Use all 10 toes. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. And then come all the way down, okay? So for the next set, squats, lunges, hinging, curtsy, heel lifts, you have the option to keep your dowel. How into it are you? I'm into it. I'm going to do it for another set, I think. And then maybe for the third set, I'm going to start adding some weights. I have my 5s and my 8s right here. Interweave, adding weight however you want. If you want to toss the dowel, you're like, that was enough for me. In my next set, I'm just going to pick up weights. You can decide where you're at. I'm going to hold on to this dowel. I just think it's really useful. And I'm kind of enjoying this challenge in and of itself. Okay. So I'm coming back. We're going to add a little bit to this next bit. When I come up, I'm going to add a heel lift at the top just to work a little bit of balance. Okay. So 5 with my hands like this, and then I'm going to switch my hands and do 5 more. 5. Oh, geez. 4. 3. 2. 1. Hands are switching. Same exercise. And 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. We're going to just add onto this a teeny bit, okay? I'm going to keep my hands like this, come into my squat, keep the 3 points of connection, switch my hands, hold here, right arm, reaching towards the ground, little pulse, 3 points of connection, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, switch the hands, 3 points, find it, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. Just a quick little stretch here because it sounds like a nice idea. I'm going to stand tall, keep my right hand on the dowel, and bring my left leg back. Just for a quick little thigh stretch here. Stand tall. If you want, you can pick the dowel up or keep it down if you need it. One more deep breath here. And then other side. Woo. Okay. Oh, think knee down, right knee down. I have my right leg up. Like a little bit of a tuck to the pelvis. Increases the stretch. One more breath here. Okay, that side's harder apparently. Okay, I'm going to come back to the lunges. And yeah, I think the most obvious add-on here would be a weight in the opposite hand. So I'm going to keep my dowel in my right hand. I'm going to step my right leg back. And you can keep a weight in your left hand, okay? Or you can get rid of the dowel, just hold 2 weights. Back heel lifts. Belly button is in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Ooh. And then step forward. Challenging. Every day is a new day. This could be easy for you. So you can always amp it up in your own way. Now I'm going to step that left leg back. Heel is lifted. Chest is lifted. Abdominals are pulled in. Try and square your hips off as you move through this. And 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Woo, my legs are tired today. Okay, we're coming back to hinging, right? So I'm going to come back to this again. This was really helpful. We're going to change it again just a little bit in the second part. I'm going to start with my right hand up, left hand down. Soft knees. Let's say feet about hip distance. Hinging forward, long neck. So here's our cute little hinge, right? Let's just practice that a few times. Hinge forward, come up, hinge forward, come up, one more. Hinge forward, come up. Step the feet a little bit closer together. Soften your knees, soften your knees. Hinge forward, step one leg back at a time. Right and back in. Left and back in. Right and back in. Left and back in. Let's switch the arms. Again. And left. A little different here. Right leg lengthens out and pause. The left knee is soft. I'm going to hinge and lift my leg and then go right back. Same time. Hinge and leg lift. 3 more. 3, and 2. One more. And then switch the legs. Left leg out, right knee soft. Hinge and left. And 5. Ooh, 4. Oh, wow. Little wobbly on that leg. Let's find it. Let's find it again. 3. 2. One more time. And come all the way in. That was exciting. That was exciting. I'm going to just go toes out, heels together a little bit. Right hand on the dowel. You can do, if your dowel's nice and long, do one hand on top, one hand on the bottom. Heel lifts. 8, 7, 6. Really try and use all 10 toes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Switch the way your hands are. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then come all the way in, okay? So before we do our third set of all this excitement, I'm just gonna take a little break and do some arm stuff here. Arm and balance. I'm gonna put this inside. I'm gonna take a quick drink of water. I'm gonna use my 5s for the next bit. Okay. 5s. Okay, so we're going to practice a little bit of leg, I guess, choreography is what you call it. That we'll do while we do some nice, easy bicep curls. Transferring the weight, bringing your right foot just behind you, and then stepping back in, and the left foot just behind you and stepping back in. Really simple little move. I think there's a few ways you can do this. I'm kind of rolling through the front foot and then pushing off with the back. Rolling through the front and then pushing off with the back. It doesn't really matter how you do this, I think. We're doing a step back, some sort of a weight transfer. So just have a little bit of a flow there. Notice what you're doing, have it make sense to you. And we're going to add opposite arm, left as the right goes back. Right arm. It's a little bit of a brain exercise for me at this moment, but I'm finding it. Stability through the midsection. Finding even kind of movement through the feet along the way. I'm just kind of flowing one arm up as the other one goes down. 3 more here. And 3. 2. If you're a little wobbly, it's okay. Stuff like this is just more like real life, moving in weird ways that we're trying to figure out, I think is really helpful for a variety of reasons. 1 more each way. And then I'm going to come back to the center and I'll stand with my feet together. Nice and sort of relax through the legs, but alert, push down through the legs. I'm going to come down and then just palms, this time facing outward a little bit. So it's instead of a bicep curl forward, bicep curl out. And for this one, as the arms go down, the heels come up. As the arms come up, the heels go down. 8. 7. Control. Belly button is in. 6. Shoulders are in a good place. 5. 4. 3, geez, 2, one more time. Okay, I'm all the way down. Quick little neck release here, ear to shoulder, roll through to the other side and back again. And then return to center. Okay, feet together for this. I'm bringing my arms straight out. And then back down. Little to no momentum here. A moment of pause at the top and sort of resist the weights on the way down. 4, 6. And 5. And 4. 3. 2. One more. Okay. Right arm only straight ahead. Knuckles straight ahead. Left arm only. 2 more sets like this. Stand tall. Belly button is in. And again. Okay, now we're putting the last 2 together a little bit. As I bring my right arm forward, my left arm will go out to the side. One more each way. Come all the way down. Roll the shoulders. Roll. One more. Let's go the other way. 3, 2, 1. Okay, arms right by your sides. Let's find feet hip distant. Soft knees, hips back, arms straight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold here, bend, extend, bend, extend, bend, extend. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. And come all the way up. Roll your shoulders. Roll, roll, roll around. Move the head. Okay? We're going to put the weights down and come back to our last set for the legs. Okay? And again, your option is there. Do you want to use the dowel? Do you want to use weights? You can do whatever you'd like. I'm going to stick with the dowel. It's really challenging. My body's a little tired, but here it goes. Here it goes. Just in case I want to break out to song and dance, I have a cane. Okay, I'm going to start with the right hand up and the left hand down. Comfortable, standing tall feeling to begin. And a squat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm coming over, switching my hands. P.S. I'm going to try to keep my eyes forward. I often forget about this. Keeping my upper body from leaning forward too much. Yeah, that's a real challenge for me now that I'm adjusting. I think it's much harder when I have my hands, one arm up. Like if I was to hold it like this, I just want to try this. No, that's just as hard. 2 more. 1 more time. Ooh, maybe that'll be the goal for the next class. And then I'm going to bring the dowel down. Dowel down. Okay, lunge work. Coming back to right leg back first. Okay, gonna step back, quick little stretch through the flexor as I square off my hips and push the heel down. And then I'm gonna lift that back heel, energize the leg. 10, 9, 8, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Difficile, c'est difficile. Standing nice and tall, take a nice deep breath, pushing both feet into the ground to begin, and stepping the left leg back. Quick flexor stretch, heel down, hip forward, square off the hips, and then heel up, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. And then I'm stepping forward, okay? Now, to do a little bit more hip hinging, I'm actually gonna come down to the ground for that and add a bit of resistance while I'm down on the ground. So for this, I'm gonna put the dowel to the side because I did kind of want to use it on the mat. And I'm gonna grab my 8s and bring them down to the mat. Okay, so carefully make your way to your mat. Weights to the side, dowel to the side. First, let's come onto our backs. Quick stretch. Hands to shins, long neck. Inhale, exhale. One more deep breath here. Okay, legs are gonna come back down. Okay, so practicing moving the pelvis in a neutral way so you're hinging from your hips can be done in this position as well. Lifting, pressing the hips forward, and lowering straight down. Ideally, you're not rolling through the spine if you want it to sort of mimic that standing work we just did. This is, of course, much different than what we were doing when we were standing, but it's a similar set of muscles, and it's a really great way to work the pelvic floor as well. So I am going to add weights to this. Since everything is nice and warm, I'm going to carefully reach over, grab my 2 8s and put them right on my hips. I'm going to maintain neutral through my pelvis, get my core engaged, press through the feet, and lift up. Okay, so when you're hinging and you're standing, there's lots of glute work. You have a long spine the whole way. The movement, the majority of the movement is happening through the hips. That's what's happening here too. I'm going to do 5 more. And 4. And 3. 2. Last one here. And then come all the way down, okay? I'm going to hold on to these weights. And we're going to do kind of a similar one arm work as we did when we were standing, just a little bit different here. Elbows are going to come in close. My palms are facing one another. Quick spine check in. Abdominals engaged, nice and long. So we're going to start with one arm straight up. As it comes down, the other arm will go straight up. So just nice and easy at first. One arm pressing up. Can you keep your midsection just nice and still and sturdy? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 1, all the way down. Elbows are going to come wide. Okay, bring your elbows out nice and wide. Belly button is in. First, we'll try both arms. Feel free to switch out your weights if what you're holding is not appropriate. Check out your wrists. I'd rather the weights be uneven and have your wrists be nice and long and your knuckles reaching straight up. Elbows wide, and then we'll alternate. 1 down and switch. And switch. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and 1. And I'm going to come all the way down and all the way down. Just a quick little wiggle for the fingers, the wrists. Release the weights for a moment. Move your head around a little if you need to, and come back to the center. So I'm coming back. I'm going to try to put both of these movements together. Let's see if my brain can do this. Left elbow out to the side as my right arm is right by my side. Okay, so right arm is doing the close version and left elbow is out. As my right arm up comes up, my left arm stays down, and then the left goes up as the right goes down. Okay. 3 more here. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. We got to switch. Left elbow down, right elbow out. 1 up, other one. 3 more. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Come back in, all the way down. Wiggle your fingers, take a nice deep breath. Okay, I'm going to come up with these weights one more time. Straight up, weights together right over the head. Be careful. And I'm bending and extending. Belly, lots of belly work here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Okay, we're going to bring the weights down. Carefully put them down. Carefully, carefully. Okay, just relax the arms for a minute. In fact, let's bring the arms into a cactus shape for just a moment. Inhale, exhale. Let's bring the right leg up to tabletop. And let's extend and bend the right leg. Extend and bend. 3, 4, 1 more. And then switch to the other side. Left leg comes up. Extend. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's bring the feet and the knees together. And we're just going to bring the knees over to the right for a moment, keeping the arms in this cactus shape. And you can look to the left. 3 deep breaths here. And then over to the other side. One more breath here. Okay, back to the center. Okay, I'm going to use this dowel one more time. Hands a little bit wider than the shoulders. Knees and feet together, feet relatively close to the tush. Let's bring the thumbs on the same side as the fingers for a moment. Okay, And we're just gonna move a little bit from the wrist. You can see them clearly, right? When you bring your thumbs on the same side as your fingers, your wrists kind of straighten out. And keeping your arms still, in fact, plug your shoulders in a little bit and draw the abdominals in. I'd love for you to aim your knuckles in the direction of your knees, so nothing else is moving. I'm moving from the wrist. And then bring the knuckles back towards the forehead. So let's just quick check in. It's difficult for some people to keep their arms straight, fairly straight when they do this, so quick elbow check in. Knuckles forward and back. Forward and back. Nice and straight through the arms. 2 more. Forward and back. 1 more time. Forward and back. Now knuckles straight up. Bring the arms behind you and then come back and bring the dowel to your thighs. Arms behind you. Inhale. And then return to your thighs. Long through the wrist. 1 more. Arrive at your thighs with the dowel. We're going to add a head lift here. Exhale to curl up. Long arms. Inhale here. Chin to the throat. Just glide the dowel up the thighs. Long arms. Reach towards the knees and then roll back down. You can just glide the dowel right back down again. We'll do this 4 more times. Exhale to curl up. Energize those arms. Again. One more. Good. And now from here, we're going to turn the dowel as we go to the right. So as I curl up, same movement. It's a little bit of a side reach here, but the dowel kind of helps you to curl up. See if you can sort of align your shoulders with the dowel along the way. Chin to the throat. And return, and then we'll go over to the right. I'm alternating sides here. 2 more sets. And then come all the way down. Just relax your parts for a moment. Inhale, exhale. Okay, I'm going to take the dowel with me and roll onto my belly. And my dowel is not so wide, but it is still a really perfect placement. It's just wide enough for my hands to be in the place where I want them. So cactus position, elbows wide. Pull your chin in, rest your head down. See if you can draw the abdominals in just a little bit. Keeping everything down, extend your arms and reach forward. The elbows will come off the mat. And then bend, return. Extend forward and return. Maybe thumb on the same side as your fingers. Try that. Reach. And we're going to add a little bit here. As you reach forward, start to lift and then lower down. So this is quite a lot of work for the upper body. You may want to try keeping your arms bent like this. It feels like 2 different exercises. Let's actually go through both. Ready? Cactus your arms, chin in toward your throat, lift and lowered. I have my head right into the dowel, just very gently. Lift, so my hands and my head are at the same plane. And then lower. 2 more. Lift, shoulders away from the ears. And lower. 1 more. Lift. and lower. Now we're going to try the arm extension. Just take a breath for a moment. It's quite a bit of work there, right? Lose the dowel for this particular one if you just feel like your shoulders hate it. Okay? It's not that important. Or just go back to the bent arm variation, okay? Take a nice deep breath. Lift and lower. Lengthen and lower. One more. Lift and lower. Ooh, that is a lot harder. Let's sit back on the heels. Big stretch for the spine. Relax your head. One more deep breath here. Okay, hands and knees. Come on up to the hands and knees. Spread the fingers apart. Wrists under shoulders. Let's do knees together, feet together. Round your spine. And then arch the back. And round. Breathe. And arch. Come back to center, side to side. Look at your tush. And look at your tush. Breathe, breathe. And other side. And then come back to central, hands together, knees wide. Keep your right hand down as you bend your left elbow. And switch. And again. Breathe. One more each way. And then come back to the center. Knees together. One more thing here before we come up to stand. A down dog. I'm going to curl my toes forward. Walk my hands forward a little bit. Be careful you don't slip. I don't know what kind of a surface you're on. I'm going to soften my knees a few times. And then we can walk our hands and our feet and come into a half hang. Head is heavy. Walk your hands over towards the right foot and then over towards the left. I have my legs pretty wide right now. It just feels like a nice stretch. One more each way here. And then back central. Soften the knees. Roll it up to stand. All the way up. Come back to center. Feet close or together. Arms all the way up. Let's hook our thumbs and reach up. Deep breath. Reaching up is a really nice way to take that deep breath into the ribs and belly. One more each way. Back to the center. Unhook your thumbs as the arms come down. Get tall. Hold here. One belly breath. Relax your shoulders. One more for good luck. We did it, you guys. Have a super awesome day. Please drink water. It's real hot here. I think I'm a little dehydrated.